Thank you so much, Philip and Marie, for giving us this space for share or use cases using Notion and Tally. And thank you also to Alexis and Stan for inviting us. I'm Alejandra Cienfuegos. I'm 50% of Notionología, which is the project that we run with Daniel. We are sharing educational resources about Notion in Spanish, and also we have our consultancy business all run with Notion. I'm a Notion ambassador. Daniel is also a Notion ambassador, and I am also a Notion certified consultant. So right now I am 100% full about Notion. But today we are going to talk more about Tally and Notion, and we are going to share some use cases that we use daily. In which Tally has been like a very helpful resource for us. So Daniel is going to present that.
So thank you, Maria, and thank you, Philip, for this. So I'm going to start talking a bit about us first. So we have mainly three sources of income. We have our courses, we have our consulting, and we have our business templates. We are a team of two. We are very small. We don't want to grow, and we have a lot of work. So using the right tools really matters for us. So I'm going to give some hard and cold numbers. We have right now, for a team of two, 59 forms, and we got more than 5,000 submissions, which for a team of two is quite a lot, I would say. So as you can see, we are like hard users of Tally almost since the beginning because we love the tool. It's like Philip said, very Notion-y. So that was very easy for us to set up with the tool. But not only numbers. For us, Tally represents a lot of the good values of no-code because it's easy to build a really good form. If you want complicated things, you can do that with conditional logic, etc. It's also it empowers you to build something and try to validate it very quickly. So that's a very good thing to do, and it's also very beautiful, which it matters a lot when you're sharing the form with the user or with a potential lead. So that's that for our values. And now some use cases that how we use Tally in Notionología. So as Alejandra said, we've been creating content in Spanish for about 2 years now. And Notion doesn't have like a good customer support in Spanish, unfortunately. So we get a lot of requests every day. A lot of people pop up in our Twitter DMs, Instagram DMs, asking us questions about Notion and also wanting to work with us. But it's been quite difficult to be able to respond them all in very good manner. So that's why we created the pre-discovery form that allows us to filter our clients and see if we want to work with them, and also if we can provide like good services or not. So depending on the answers that they give us, we are showing them through different paths with conditional logic, and this allows us to recommend like if they need, for example, a course or even a consultancy or maybe a one-on-one session because they are a small team. So everything we do that with the pre-discovery form, and that saves us a lot of time, like every day.
Yeah, we have at first, we had like a lot of requests, like on Instagram and on Twitter, and we didn't have like a way to filter that, and we were spending a lot of time trying to reach personally to each person and like to try to give the best solution for them. But it was madness, and as Daniel said, we are only two, but the requests are a lot because we were doing like Notion customer support in Spanish because they didn't have that. So this form, I think, is one of the most important for us because it gets like a very quick filter for the customer. It allows us to have information that we can then use, like for having like a real conversation for them later. But we get to filter at least all the customer support, Notion customer support leads.
Yeah, and also we spend less time in discovery calls, so that's a really good thing too. And also, on the other part of our sales cycle, we have when we close the deal, we embed a Tally form in our Notion proposal page. So the client gets all the Notion filling. They see the proposal in Notion, and then if they accept the proposal, they can fill this form and sign it with the sign block in Notion, in Tally, sorry. So it's a very easy way to like close the deal in a sense, because before they had to accept the offer in an email. We would ask them the legal information, the VAT, then we will send them the first invoice, and everything like that was a long thread of emails back and forth every time because some information was missing, etc. So now, thanks to this form, we are making it easy for the user and easy for us too. And with that, we can go further, and that's what we do. So every time we got this new closed deal, we look into our CRM in Notion. We see if the contact exists. If not, we create the contact, and then we generate an NDA with the information of the contact, and we send that link of the document to our Notion database. So when we want to send the NDA to the client, it is almost ready. We need to review it, of course, but it is almost ready. So we win a lot of time again. It's very important to us that all these repetitive tasks are taking less and less time every time.
Yeah, and as I told you a little bit in the morning, I think Tally solves a lot of problems from capturing information before going to Notion. That's what we do here. Like that's a very great resource because you capture that information, but you don't need to put that like manually again. So I think Tally at the first block of the workflow is great for that. And before, this was like almost a day of working because there was like 10 mails because the customer send you a different mail. The customer is missing like the tax for the invoice or something like that. So this was a lot of mails before and like 1 or 2 days of work. And now with the Tally form, we get the real information at first.
Yes. So another use case, another very good use case that we use a lot is when people sign up for our courses. After 1 week or 2 weeks, we send them an email with this user feedback form because we think and we believe that user feedback is the most important. We can't improve if we don't have feedback. So we use Tally for that, and the blogs of Tally, the blog start, the rating, the new rating, and also the new progress bar. I think there are very UX improvements that helps us a lot to get this user feedback that we treasure because it makes us improve. Yeah, and also one important thing for us is to quickly fail. Let me explain that. So we build a lot of things, a lot of products, a lot of templates, a lot of courses, and we need to understand very quickly if these products make sense to our audience. So to do that, we think that the best way to validate is if they pay you. So usually what we do is we build a landing page, or sometimes even we don't do that. We just send in our newsletter, a Tally form, and if they are interested in the product or course, they will pay using the Stripe block, and it will be a very good indication that the product or that our course is ready to be built. And last but not least, we were talking a bit this morning about the importance of being able to help our customers throughout the journey. And Tally solves a bit that Notion, the permissions in Notion are a bit like, if you use Notion, you know that. Permissions in Notion are hard. And sometimes you can share the database without sharing all the database. So our clients do not want that. They want people to be able to write in the database, but without having access to the database. So we build a Tally form, then we connect it to Notion, and then we can have the information in Notion, even if the user do not see the Notion database. So that thing is very important for us, and it's also a great pain point in the Notion community. So we could talk a lot about other use cases because we have a lot of forms, but I think those ones are the most interesting ones. And thank you very much for your attention.
guess we have time for maybe one or two questions. Does anyone have a question? Not for now. Oh, yeah.
My English not so good, so I will try my best. I'm a student and I used 2 weeks ago discovered Tally. So right now I'm using Tally to try to the students that are in my university start to use my newsletter in my website. So I use Tally. Sorry. So I would like to know, or I would appreciate a lot, if in a future there will be the possibility to save a date in the calendar, and then the people don't have the possibility to save another the same time and the same month.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess it's not really Notion related question, I think. Or is
It's
your
maybe just because I
You're
integrate
embedding-
Tally in Notion.
okay. I guess the question is like, how can you also schedule meetings or have more like a calendar within Tally, which is a highly requested feature, so it's something we will add at one point. Right now, it's a bit of it's something that we're missing, like you can embed like a calendar, for example, but that doesn't really, it doesn't sync with your form sources, so that's not ideal, so we'll make sure to implement that for you. I mean, Philip.
I'm adding it to the feature if that's the word.
Okay, but thanks a lot for coming.
Second.
Any other questions? No, okay, well, thank you so much.